Hey everybody, welcome back, and we're continuing on with the Lewis Shaper. This is the crossfeed. If you'll hear the nice little clicky click. All right, the ratcheting mechanism originally was problematic, being the fact that it had a hitch in its get along every now and then. In the original one, I showed you that there was one tooth that was not cut correctly. Okay, I've kind of marked it there so you can spot it. If you look on the outer perimeter here, you'll see that one tooth is cut just completely wrong. Measuring these out, what is that? Why is there always something stuck in there? Measuring these out, it's about 60 thousandths width of each of the teeth. That appears to work out pretty well in about a 50 thousandths depth. So from that one, obviously this one cannot be repaired. It's going to have to be made. So in classic fashion, I took a look at this and I modeled it. You can see this is the opposite side. I modeled it and then I generated one in plastic. Well, that's not going to be any good. I understand. But the plastic version works just great. Where I'm going with this one is the crossfeed. This is a standard 60-degree thread. We are going to be going with an Acme, so there's going to be a whole brand new shaft there. So from here, we generated one in plastic. Now again, why I did that is I made sure that 60 thousandths and then that 50 thousandths depth of cut seemed to work out just fine. This took about 30 minutes to draw and then 2.5 hours to print. It's only like a 30% infill. Never intended to use it. I just wanted to use it to check the fit, and it seems to be working just fine. So we will be making one in metal. That's kind of what I'm going to try to do today. Obviously, we're going to have to bring in the indexing head and go from there. But first I need to make a blank. This has a 3/4 shaft ID, and then we're going to have to put a keyway in there. You can kind of see where it's right there. And then we will get started on that one. A couple of other small elements. This original shaft, they had played around with a couple of multiple drills and drill points, and yeah, it's just a hot mess. Okay, you can see it, no harm, no done, really done. The keyway wasn't obviously perfection because when you print in plastic, it tends to shrink just a little bit. I mean, a couple of percent. So basically mounting it on there, but you can see that even as I was playing with that one, there's really no appreciable wear. Could I get away with it? Oh, absolutely. I think I could, but why? Since we're here, let's just make it right. But okay, dimensionally, again, I just took it out of the housing. It worked perfectly. 1.993. And just to give you an idea, going back to the original metal part, 1.996. Now, I put it in the same dimension, but that's that little bit of shrinkage you can get. Come down like, should be about 20 thousandths to bring it close. Let's go 22. Needs a little bit, obviously, for it to move around inside of there. And a little bit of tolerance, but I think that'll be just fine. It's measuring out right at where the other one was. Well, I don't think in my watching YouTube for several years, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say, yay, I really want to go set up my dividing head from scratch. Yeah, it takes a while. So, we've turned the blank and brass. I think it'll be fine. If it's not, well, guess what? We can redo it. 65 thousandths is as close as I've got. A 60 is right at what I measured before. I think we should be okay. If you split the difference, it's 2 thousandths on either side of the slot, so we should be fine. We have 48 to do, so I've got it set on here, 18 tooth, and then we're going to be doing 15/18. That was a little bit of a problem because the sector arm on here, when they come around and they go back to back, when you're going 15/18, normally, you know, 3 to 5 or 7 or whatever, 15/18, it didn't like that a lot, so I had to modify it, and it should be working fine now, but it didn't have enough clearance to actually do it. So I'm going to set this up. We have again 2-inch part, just double checked it, 65 thousandths for the actual blade, and then we're going to take half of that and then half of the 2, so that's going to wind up being 1 and 0.325. That should put it dead center. So we're coming down 1 inch and we're coming down half of the thickness of the blade. It's 65, so half of the thickness of the blade is going to be 32.5 thousandths. Okay? All right, we've come just zeroed off the top, and then we came down 1 inch and 32 thousandths, 32 and a half. And you'll see that we're on the center line. So next step is I'm going to pull it around to the back side, because this is going to be rotating this way, and I want to feed into it. So I'm going to put this on the back side of the blade. So from here, we should have enough travel. And bring it over. What I'll do is I'll set the Y with just a touch off, and then we'll set it in 50 thousandths as we talked about the depth of the cut, and then we'll get ready to go. Hopefully nothing slips. This is an absolute nightmare when something goes wrong. So cutting gears, this is the same effort in this regard. So we'll get it set up and then get ready. All right, here goes nothing. Unknown cutter. Wonky setup. Let's try our first cut. We're going to try to do all 50 thousandths in one shot. Making sure it doesn't kiss the chuck or something. I think the cut looks pretty good. Sorry, I keep kicking the camera. Alright, that looks alright. Now we're gonna rotate. Advance the sector. Just touching base before something goes really wrong. Feels like 2 days later, but it's not been all that long, but this is a mental drag for sure for me. Well, moment of truth. Looks kind of, sort of okay. Let me change the angle for you. I think they're all there. Well, that would be a first. First on a first try. How's that? Okay. Putting a couple other items to the one side. That one turned out pretty good, didn't it, guys? Yeah. Nice. Well, here we go. Haven't deburred it, obviously. Need to put a keyway in it. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, let's try something. Okay, we just set it down in the housing, and then the ratchet mechanism, you'll be able to see that too. Get out of your way. You can watch real close. Okay. You can see the line right about there. I don't know. Maybe brass isn't the greatest choice, but it's what I had. And ultimately, there's not much load on this thing. So, 3/4 keyway, the do, and that was actually from the turning, not too shabby. And that was from the parting, so I didn't clean that up. It looks like I might need to take just a little bit of a skim across the top. It's pretty darn close. A lot of that is the burrs, actually. So, all right. It was a full day of fun and adventure, but we did it on the first pass. Amazing.